Good morning, everybody. My name is Rabbi Lester, Director of Pastoral Care here at Gurwin Jewish. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. We will continue our Oneg Shabbat series, bringing in Shabbat with our favorite Shabbat songs, and we'll speak a little bit about the upcoming holiday of Shavuot and about the Torah portion we read about this week. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashares, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashares, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashares, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'lachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'lachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'lachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu. As we approach the holiday of Shavuot, we're reminded of one of the unusual things which happened when the Jewish people received the Torah. God had to decide which mountain he should reveal himself on, and which mountain Moses should go up and receive the Ten Commandments. And he chose a very, very simple mountain, Mount Sinai. Now, Mount Sinai was not the largest mountain. It was not the mountain with the best landscaping. It was very rocky. Not too many grass or plants were growing there. And it seems like a very, very simple mountain, even to a point where it's not befitting the honor of God to reveal himself on such a mountain. So the question is, why did God, out of all the places to reveal himself, out of all the mountains where to gather the Jewish people and accept the Torah, wouldn't we think that the most honorable place should be the place where we have this unbelievable moment in the history of our people? Why did God choose specifically a very, very simple place for this to happen? And the answer given is to teach us all a lesson. Sometimes we think that the big people are the people which are important, and the people which are loud are important, and the fancy things in life are important, but that's not the case. The most humble person in the world, that's the most important person. The attribute of being humble, realizing that what makes us great is our ability to see the great in other people. So yes, that mountain was not the most glorious mountain, but God made a miracle, and flowers bloomed on that mountainside to become a beautiful mountain. Only because its simplicity of the mountain itself, of Mount Sinai, that's what caused the great revelation to happen. To teach us this lesson, sometimes being simple, being humble, is much greater than being big and being loud. Lecha dehodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela. Lecha dehodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela. Shamar v'zachar b'dibor echad. Hishmiyahanu kel hamyuchad Hashem echad u'shma echad l'shemo seferes v'letzila lecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela lekras Shabbos L'chuvin elcha ki mekar haberacha meirosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshavat chila lecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela mikdash melech ir melucha Kumeti mitocha hafecha ravlach shevet b'yemek habacha hoyachamol alayechem la lecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela hisna'ari me'afar kumi levshi bigdei sefardei chami Al yad ben yishai beis halach me karva al nafshi yala lecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela hisorere Kiva orecho me ore shir dabering v'od Hashem layich nigla lecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Lo se v'oshiv lo sikami mahatish tochachi umatami b'hol yechzu ani yeyami v'nivnesa irauti la lecha dodi kras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Yamin usmo tehefroti v'es Hashem daritzi al yad ben yishai beis halach mekarva el nafshi geyala lecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela V'hayolim shisa sho sayech v'rachako kome v'halayech yasis halayech elokayech imzais chazana kala chadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela Bawi b'shalom materes ba'ala gamberino v'sahala tochem unei am segula Bawi kala lecha dodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela. In this week's Torah portion, we end the book of Leviticus, which is a book which discusses mainly the service in the temple, the building of the temple, the service of the temple, the sacrifices. And it ends with a serious warning about the history of the world from God. And God says, if you do good, if you follow the right ways, follow my paths, I guarantee a life of goodness, a life of happiness. However, if the unfortunate happens and we don't follow God the way that we should, life may be difficult. And the question is, why is God telling us this bad news of history? We know certainly in the history of the world there have been ups and there have been downs for the Jewish people and all of mankind. What is the purpose of God telling us that, by the way, in the future there may be some difficult times in your life? And the answer is twofold. Number one is to help us to do the right thing. Because if we know that if we don't do what we're supposed to do, we may have difficulties, they might encourage us to always do the right thing. But the more important lesson is the following. Because we know there are ups and downs, and even when we try to do our best, sometimes things don't work out. But the end of the warning of God says one thing. He says, however, you should know, through all the deeds that you may do, all the disappointments I may have in the nation, I will never leave you. You'll always be there, and I'll always be there ready to take you out and to save you. Even if it's only by a hair's breadth, but you will never be completely destroyed. And that we've seen throughout our history. That even through the difficult times, God's promise has always prevailed, and we've always been throughout history, and as long as we continue to do the right thing, God's promises for all the blessings will come true. Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra li'es nasa b'chefso kol Azai melech shemo nikra v'yacharei kechlos hakol Levahado yimloch nora v'haya v'hoveh v'yiyeh b'sifara v'echad v'yein sheni L'hamshila l'hachbira v'li reishes v'li sachlis V'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra v'hu keli v'chai goali V'zur chavli v'yes nasa v'hu nisi umanosli Nas kosi b'yom ekra b'yado av kidruchi V'yes ishan v'yahira v'yimruchi giviyasi Ado Shehem li v'lo ira. Having a happy and healthy weekend, a great Shabbat. We'll see everybody next week.